In the Dexter Montgomery shooting investigation, who was it that took the lead in that case?
Gaither did.
Do you recall how it was? Backing up, were you or Gaither the original lead in that case?
No.
Who was the original lead?
The original was Detective Robinson out of Zone 3.
Who?
Did you personally know Detective Robinson out of Zone 3?
Yes.
What was his first name?
I don't even know. I just know him as Detective Robinson.
Did you
Brandon.
know him as by any other name?
Through my investigation, I learned they called him BB.
Okay. Did you hear people refer to him as you?
Not in Atlanta Police Department, no.
When you and Detective Gaither got the Dexter Montgomery shooting investigation, who was it that took the lead in that case?
Gaither did.
Do you recall how it was? Backing up, were you or Gaither the original lead in that case?
No.
Who was the original lead?
The original was Detective Robinson out of Zone 3.
Ooh.
Did you personally know Detective Robinson out of Zone 3?
Yes.
What was his first name?
I don't even know. I just know him as Detective Robinson.
Did you
Brandon.
know him as by any other name?
Through my investigation, I learned they called him BB.
Okay. Did you hear people refer to him as you?
Not in Atlanta Police Department, no.
When you and Detective Gaither got the Dexter Montgomery file, did it have any surveillance in it from Detective Robinson?
No.
All right. Look at Thug. Look at Thug at that moment. Now, Detective Brandon Robinson is from Jonesboro South. Now, allegedly, he was helping YSL out. Now, you hear what Dennis just said. Detective Dennis, you heard him? He said, man, when me and Gaither got the file, it wasn't even it wasn't even nothing in there, man. So look, right, on that half a head, you know the Dexter Montgomery situation at the gas station with DK and Hot Rod and OG Bentley, you know, and Neil. All right. Brandon Robinson from Jonesboro South was the first police to pull up on the scene, y'all. He handled the case before it got passed over to Gaither and Dennis. Got rid of the footage. Yeah, straight looked out for guys. Now, if you ask me, he's slightly older than Thug. So I'm assuming he might really be cool with Kente now. Hot Rod, OG Bentley, he might know this age bracket for real. So this might have been his interest, right? But it's interesting. So look, we got something here. We got details on what he was doing in the police force. That's him right there, y'all. Yeah, if you ain't know no good, that's him. Yeah, look at him. Yeah, there you go, y'all. That's him. Whoop whoop. But look, bam. Yeah. So in 2009, he had a little situation, him and another officer, while they was doing a raid. So he was on the narcotics team. So what happens is they go on a raid. They go to the house, they go to the raid, and a whole bunch of other stuff happens. So what he did wasn't even involved in the raid. Yeah, something happened on the side of the raid. Yeah, like you got the main course, then you got the side. Well, yeah, they pulled a move on the side. Check this out. Here, go right here. It says, the facts underlying this action are as follows, according to the plaintiffs. On September 2nd, 2009, according to Jeffery Lumpkin, he was outside of his brother's house cleaning the interior of his car. While cleaning his car, Lumpkin said that he was playing the music in his car, Just Factory, about 5 volume. Just Factory, I'm assuming that means he just had the regular factory system, which is tricky. According to Lumpkin, he was watching the police officers exit their cars preparing to search a nearby house. After the Atlanta Police Department had completed a drug bust at the house across the street, Defendant Officer Luke Irwin came to plaintiff Jeffery Lumpkin's gate and yelled, "Turn that damn radio down, or I'll come turn it down for you." You know how they be saying. So Jeffery Lumpkin didn't turn the radio down. Officer Irwin walked back across the street and spoke to defendant Officer Brandon Robinson. Officer Robinson then came to the gate outside Jeffery Lumpkin's property and called Jeffery to come to the gate where he was. Jeffery did not go to the gate, but remained where he was at the back of his car in the driveway. Tap the like button. Salute to everybody. Yeah, here we grinding. After Jeffery Lumpkin did not go to the gate where Officer Robinson was, Robinson kicked the gate open and went to where Jeffery Lumpkin was, standing behind his car, and began poking him in his chest with his finger and bumping him with his shoulder and said, "I'll show you what happens when you don't obey a police officer." Jeffery Lumpkin backed up against his car, trying to get away from Officer Robinson's assault. When he was up against his car and could not go any further, Officer Robinson poked him in his chest with his finger and again bumped him with his shoulder and said, "You are a smartass. Let's see what you're going to do." Officer Robinson, which is Brandon Robinson, you know, the one from Jonesboro South, had his nightstick in his hand, and Jeffery Lumpkin did not want to give Robinson an excuse to hit him with the nightstick. Officer Robinson turned as if he was leaving and then turned back quickly and struck Jeffery Lumpkin in the eye with his fist while holding his baton. Yeah. He active, ain't he? Yeah. Jeffery Lumpkin slid to the ground from Officer Robinson's blow to his eye. After Jeffery was on the ground, Robinson struck him again, and Officer Irwin came into the yard, and he struck Jeffery Lumpkin on his side while he was on the ground, not resisting. Jeffery Lumpkin was able to protect his head from the blows until Officer Robinson had cuffed him. After he was handcuffed, Officer Irwin struck Jeffery Lumpkin on his hand with his baton. After Jeffery Lumpkin was beaten and handcuffed, Officer Robinson grabbed Jeffrey's dreadlocks and began dragging him toward the street. Robinson continued to drag him until 7 of his dreadlocks came from his head. Officer Robinson threw his hair onto the ground. Ugh, filth. And then Robinson and another officer dragged him to a police car patrol. From the time Jeffery Lumpkin encountered these defendants, he had not been out of his brother's yard until they dragged him out into the street after he had been beaten. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, turn up. Tap the like button for me. Help me get some likes up on the board, y'all. This YSL, well, hold on. It's 2 YSL BBs. So for some reason, somebody commented like I didn't know who I was talking about. That other YSL BB ain't important. I'm naming this one YSL BB. He OG YSL BB. What are you talking about? So just to let you know, I'm not getting it twisted. No, that's not him. Plaintiff Alton Lumpkin was inside his house when the police first came to his gate and only learned about what was happening when Crystal Barnes came to the porch. Alton came to the porch and saw a number of police officers beating his brother, Jeffery Lumpkin, while he was on the ground. Alton ran down the steps yelling for them to stop beating his brother. "Yo, stop beating my brother." Just as he got to the bottom of the steps, a white officer, I don't know why they called him white, who he later learned to be Officer Irwin, grabbed him and with the help of other officers threw him to the ground and began beating him. "Get him, you little punk." At one time, Officer Irwin had his knee in Alton's back while he pushed Alton's head into the ground and continually punched Alton's side. The officers continued to beat Alton Lumpkin after he was on the ground and handcuffed. After they had beaten Alton, Alton was searched and taken to the patrol car where his brother Jeffery Lumpkin was. Officer Irwin looked into the window of the patrol car and told Jeffery and Alton that they would be taken to Grady Hospital. Irwin said that when they got home from the hospital that they should forget about what had happened. Alton Lumpkin responded, "Hell no. You won't, not the way you beat us up." Yeah. The Lumpkins were taken to Grady Hospital to get treatment for their injuries, and afterwards they were taken to Fulton County Jail. Yeah. Jeffrey's eye socket was crushed, and his middle finger on his right hand was broken. He was cleared by the medical personnel at Grady, and he was taken to Fulton County Jail. Jeffrey continued to have problems with his eye and his hand. On September 23, 2009, he was taken to Grady Hospital, and they performed surgery on his hand that day. The doctor implanted a rod in his middle finger. So now he could say, yeah, F12, and secured it with screws. The screws will really help him say, screw you. 40 days after Alton Lumpkin was arrested, he was allowed to sign his own bond and was released from Fulton County Jail. On October 14, 2009, 42 days after he was arrested, Jeffery Lumpkin was allowed to sign his own bond and was released from Fulton County Jail. Jeffery Lumpkin learned while in jail that he had been charged with obstruction of law enforcement officer, Leo, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Cruelty to children charge for cursing in front of children? That's incredible. Yeah. Cruelty to children for cursing in front of children. Tap the like button. Salute to everybody in here. Good morning. You already know I'm rocking with you. If you're rocking with me, it's 1090 posted. Yeah. Lawn slime. Yeah. Cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, terroristic threats, disorderly conduct, and public drunkenness. Jeffery Lumpkin denies obstructing either of the defendants or any other Atlanta police officer on September 2nd, 2009. He denies committing the act of cruelty to children because he did not curse or call the officers any names while they were at the gate or inside his brother's property. At no time did Jeffery Lumpkin threaten any of the officers with harm while they were at the fence gate or after they came onto the property. And at no time did Jeffery Lumpkin throw anything at the Atlanta police officers on September 2nd, 2009. At no time was Jeffery or Alton Lumpkin disorderly before or during the time they encountered the police officer. Jeffery Lumpkin did not drink in public and was not under the influence of alcohol during the events in question. On August 3rd, 2010, all charges were dismissed against Jeffery Lumpkin and Alton Lumpkin. The Lumpkins. All right. So, tap the like button for me. Help me get to 100. Good morning. Salute to everybody in here. So, thanks to Nikki. And, hold on. Somebody else sent me his info, too. Hold on, bro. Somebody else sent me the info, too. Gave me the drop on y'all. Amy Lou. Amy Lou. Salute to Amy Lou, man. All right. Salute to Amy Lou and Nikki for giving me the drop on y'all, too. All right. So, long story short, y'all, the police now this part right here is describing the way the police tell it. That was the way this is a lawsuit against the police, y'all. So the police are the defendants in this case right here. And technically, I think the judge sided with the plaintiffs. Straight up. Y'all want to hear the police tell their story, or y'all cool with the first side of it? Because they tell it 2 different ways. Y'all want to hear the other way? Tap the like button, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know something. Let me know. We here. Hold on. If you don't know why that's important, bro, this is a corrupt police. Oh, y'all ain't put 2 and 2 together? Hold up. Y'all do know Holmes got exposed for being corrupt in 2009, 2010. So what that mean? Holmes was already dirty. You get it? Holmes was already dirty. Man. All right, salute to all y'all. Straight up. I appreciate y'all. All right, so hold on. We might as well go ahead and go through the police version of it. So the police tell a very different story. Their version is, on September 2nd, 2009, at approximately 7:30 p.m., Officers Irwin and Robinson were part of a group of police officers gathered at the 2100 block of Polar Rock Place in Atlanta, Georgia, to conduct a search, pursuant to a search warrant of a house in that neighborhood. Jeffery Lumpkin was staying at the home of his brother, Alton, at 2167 Polar Rock. After serving the warrant, Officer Irwin went back to the police vehicles to retrieve an evidence box. While retrieving the box, Officer Irwin could hear Jeffrey Lumpkin playing the music from his car. Without going onto the property at 2167 Polar Rock, Officer Irwin asked Jeffrey Lumpkin to turn down his music. After instructing Mr. Lumpkin to turn down his music, Officer Irwin began to walk back toward the house at which the police served the warrant. In response to his instructions to turn down the music, Officer Irwin states he was called I'm not going to repeat those words out loud, but you can see it. He was called some derogatory names. Officer Irwin says Mr. Lumpkin then stated, "I ain't got a dude. Yeah. Shh. I'm on my mother effing property. You can't tell me what the F to do on my damn property." There were young children present in the area when Jeffrey Lumpkin cursed Officer Irwin. Officer Brandon Robinson was at the location in connection with the search warrant. That's Officer BB. Yeah, he on the screen, y'all. He YSL, y'all, if you want to know why I got him up there. Yeah, he YSL. Officer Robinson had also asked Jeffrey Lumpkin to lower the volume of his music. At this time, Officer Robinson had not come onto the property where Jeffrey Lumpkin was standing. In response to Officer Robinson's request, Jeffrey Lumpkin called Officer Robinson Uncle Tom and P as in. Yeah, put it together. Going a step further, Jeffrey Lumpkin then threw a bottle of beer in the direction of Officer Robinson toward a fence where Officer Robinson was standing and stated, "I'll kick your, I'll smoke you, my guy." I paraphrased it. "This is my MFing property. If you come onto this property, I'm going to F you up." Officer Irwin was now slightly behind Officer Robinson, still not on the Lumpkin property. Based upon Jeffrey Lumpkin's refusal to lower the volume of his music, throwing the beer bottle, and his loud, threatening, and vulgar language, Officer Robinson came onto the Lumpkin property. Upon entering the property, Jeffrey Lumpkin got into a fighting stance. Come on, punk. Toward Officer Robinson and repeatedly asked, "What you gonna do now?" Jeffrey Lumpkin then threw a punch at Officer Robinson, and a physical struggle began. They called it a struggle. They called it a struggle, cuz. Yeah. They called it a struggle. Officer Irwin, upon saying that Jeffrey Lumpkin was not going to comply with Officer Robinson's initial directives and was attempting to punch Officer Robinson, headed back to, how you catch somebody attempting to punch? Headed back toward the property. Again, Officer Irwin was slightly behind Officer Robinson when Jeffrey Lumpkin shouted obscenities and threw the beer bottle. As Officer Irwin approached the scuffle, he noticed that Alton Lumpkin, Jeffrey Lumpkin's brother, ran from inside of the house screaming at the officers and attempted to get into the struggle between Jeffrey Lumpkin and Officer Robinson. Officer Irwin pushed Alton Lumpkin away from Officer Robinson and told him to stand away, as Officer Irwin was going to assist in subduing Jeffrey Lumpkin. Alton Lumpkin's response to these commands was to punch Officer Irwin in the ear, the left ear. Jeffrey Lumpkin admitted that Alton Lumpkin got involved by yelling to the officers, "Get off of my brother! Get off of my brother!" During the scuffle, Officer Irwin deployed his baton and struck Alton Lumpkin's left leg. While Officer Irwin was deploying his baton and preparing to strike Alton, Alton escalated his attack upon Officer Irwin by attempting to tackle Irwin and grab Irwin's holstered gun. Ooh, we heard this story before. Officer Irwin dropped to the ground on his right side, the side holding his gun, in an attempt to prevent Alton Lumpkin from, his damn mother is terrible, Alton Lumpkin, from actually grabbing the gun. Alton Lumpkin, I'm calling this boy Al. Al managed to pull Officer Irwin's gun magazine from his work belt and began using the magazine as improvised brass knuckles. What? Yeah. Tap the like button. Salute to everybody in here. Good morning. It's 101.9. Slime with the law. Yeah. Yo, he grabbed his clip from his gun off his belt and start using it as brass knuckles. Yo, you'll break your hand. And how you use that as brass knuckles, bro. Show me how you holding that firm, using it to apply pressure to somebody, bro. Like brass knuckles. Come on, bro. I need to see this. I would, if we was in court, I would have brought that out of evidence and said, yo, can you show me how you had it? I'm waiting to see this. How you use a clip as brass knuckles, bro. Come on, bro. How you put it like this? I don't care what you do. Hit somebody with the clip, bro, and do damage. Like, let me see you do work your business with this clip. Weaponize this clip, bro. Let me see what you could do with it. Just a clip in your hand. Bro, that's cat. Brass knuckles. That's cat right there. Like, he messed up by going that hard. Saying he hit you with it? All right. Using it as brass knuckles. How? Bro, if somebody hold it in their hand like they gonna mash down on with the like the butt of the clip, it ain't even gonna hold in their hand right. Like what brass knuckles? Cap. I'm calling Cap right there. He went too far. All right. Whoa, ho, it get worse. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. It get worse, y'all. Stay still. Alton Lumpkin managed to pull Officer Irwin's gun magazine from his work belt and began using the magazine as improvised brass knuckles by striking Officer Irwin in the testicles. Oh, man. It. Yo, in defense, Officer Irwin struck Alton Lumpkin with his baton. Eventually, with the aid of other officers on the scene, Jeffery Lumpkin and Alton, Al, were subdued and placed under arrest. At the time of their arrest, both Lumpkins smelled of alcohol. Both Lumpkins were charged with obstructing or hindering law enforcement officers, while Jeffery Lumpkin was charged with terroristic threats. Using fighting words in the presence of a child. What? That's against the law? Using fighting words in the presence of a child under the age of 14. That's a charge. Public drunkenness and cruelty to children. Al was charged with attempting to remove an officer's firearm, aggravated assault, battery, and cruelty to children. Jeffery Lumpkin alleges that he suffered a broken nose, a crushed eye socket, a broken finger, injury to his knees, thighs, and loss of 7 dreadlocks of hair as a result of the confrontation. Plaintiffs Jeffery Lumpkin and Al have alleged excessive force against the defendants, yet Jeffery Lumpkin admitted that he cannot identify the persons who injured him. The charges were not processed. Importantly, Brandon Robinson had no interaction with Alton Lumpkin and or Aisha Lumpkin. As for Luke Irwin, other than his initial verbal exchange with Jeffery Lumpkin, his contact was only with Alton, none with Aisha Lumpkin, against whom he was forced to defend himself. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. Well, your dreadlocks could get put back in, technically. When they get ripped out, y'all, they not done. Yeah. You can put them back. It sound weird, but like a couple of mine, I done yanked mine out in the door of the car, stepped on them, all types of stuff, bro. Like straight up, my girl sew it back in or braid it back in, and I can't even tell where they at. For real. After like a month or two, it's gone. It's back regular. You can't tell. The hair done literally, yeah. At first, you be mad, like, Oh, if your dreads too thin to twist out, if they so thin they twist out, they need to get done. You need to get them double twisted. They too thin, period. Yeah, salute to everybody in here though. If you watching this on the playback, yo, tell me what you know about YSL BB, man. Yeah, straight up. Now he helped YSL get rid of some evidence. Now, if they did an internal affair investigation into him, then you know He had to put some work in, y'all. And if you pay attention to when Dennis talking to him, talking about him, he distanced himself. You know what I mean? He distanced himself. Now, homie, listen, homie Jackie is official. Homie went to the Army. He from Jonesboro South. He went to the Army, went to college to study law, and then he comes out onto the APD workforce, turns into a detective, narcotics squad, woo, woo, woo. Yeah. 2009, 2010, you see this level of aggression right here. I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty aggressive. And if to be a black dude and you snatching black dudes' dreads out, essentially, we got, what's that? That's Boys in the Hood with the black cop. Yeah, essentially, we got that situation. What name ring bells? Robinson? Hey, yo, do me a favor. B, if you type something like that, type the name with it or don't type at all. Straight up. Please. That's like a waste of time. His name rings bells? Oh, that's not his last name, bro. Hold on, bro. No, B dash. That's not his real last. That ain't his last name. His last name Robinson, bro. BB nickname. Worst in the Army, he was a Marine. Yo, excuse me on that, y'all. I don't know the difference between these groups. Yeah, respectfully, like I don't give them no different rank or nothing. They like all, I just generalize them. Their service. Like, yeah. So yeah, I understand though. Yeah, I get it. It's levels. Mm-hmm. Some of them wilder than others. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, all right, Cloud. I see what you're saying. So, yo, all right, this the question with it. We don't mind police helping the guys. Technically, some might argue that, in all of our cities, you got police from certain neighborhoods that's working with guys. In my city, they had a couple of them. Yeah, they had a couple of them. It's not abnormal. It's more lucrative. And then, he might have some moral coding. He might have looked at it like he was helping people from his neighborhood he grew up with. You feel me? Like really us versus them type of thing. Favor for a favor, you know? I found it odd that he was running for office and doing politics now. Yeah, he doing politics, y'all. He was running for city council. So they come from Jonesboro South. Well, hold on. Let me show that part. Did I show his background where it say he come from Jonesboro South and all of that? All right. Let me confirm for y'all. After graduating from high school, hold on. No. Let me rewind. Few young African American males rising from substandard conditions have walked a more improbable path. Born in Atlanta to a mother and father of the Jonesboro South housing projects, Brandon was raised with the help of his grandmother, Diane. So, yeah, it tell you right there. Then it tells you he went to the Army, Marines. Sorry about that. After high school. Then, Brandon's desire for service found him transitioning his career to the City of Atlanta Police Department, where on October 14, 2008, he was sworn in as a police. So, in less than a year, he did that. He did that move. He was only there less than a year, y'all. All right. That's crazy. While working full-time as a Zone 3 undercover narcotics officer, he was able to further his education. Wow. Yo worked as a police while going to college? That's crazy, bro. To go to the Army, then work as a police while going to college, and then you get into politics? What? His education, knowledge, training, and experience led him to the appointment of detective. Detective Robinson, along with members of the Zone 3 field investigation team, is responsible for the obliteration of one of the most significant street level dealers in Southeast Atlanta. Can somebody help me find out who that is? Who did they obliterate? Seriously. Let me know in the comments what y'all think, man.